What is reality? What is knowledge? Is there a God? What separates right from wrong? What is our purpose? What is dharma? How do we know what is true? Humans have been asking these questions for a long time, and arguing about them for just as long. If there is anything we Indians love, it's arguing about everything and anything. Naturally, this has led to a whole lot of ideas to emerge from the Bharatiya civilization, which aim to answer our endless curiosity or just fuel our endless arguments. Welcome to True Indian, where today we are going to look at how Indians over the years have tried to figure out the truth. A person from the Dharma culture, or a Dharmika, has the freedom to explore whatever ideas they wish to explore and be influenced by. However, some people accept certain ultimatums upon which they build all their ideas. These ultimatums are called Darshanas. There are 10 major Darshanas. These Darshanas are Samkhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisesika, Mimamsa, Vedanta, Buddha-dhatu, Jain, Ajvika, and Lokyata, also known as Charvaka. Samkhya. The origins of Samkhya are much debated, but the classical formulation is founded in the Samkhya Karaka by Ishvara Krishna, around 350 CE. The darshan can be identified as non-theistic or atheistic metaphysical dualism. By reading Ishvara Krishna's work, we can conclude that Samkhya believes that there are two types of entities or tattva, Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is a metaphysical, infinite consciousness which is the highest form of the real self and is the seer of Prakriti. Prakriti is the world which is seen. It includes thoughts, matter, nature, and the physical self. The Purusha is transmigratory. Thus, upon the death of the body, the Prakriti, it reincarnates into a new body based on karma and continues to bear witness. Once Purusha is fully realized, it loses any interest in Prakriti, thus escaping from dukkha. Yoga is founded upon the Yoga Sutra, written around the 2nd century BCE by Patanjali. It accepts everything from Samkhya and, I quote here, adds meditative practices culminating in attaining a state of consciousness free from all modes of activity or discursive thought, and of eventually attaining a state where consciousness is unaware of any object external to itself. That is, it's only aware of its own nature as consciousness unmixed with any other object. End quote. Thus, the goal of yoga is freeing Purusha from all material suffering and the cycle of reincarnation. Yoga forms the basis of the theological study of salvation in Dharma and establishes meditative techniques and practices. Nyaya was founded by Akshapata Gautama's Nyaya Sutra, written around 200 CE. It is a darshan of epistemology and logic, which concerns itself with valid knowledge sources called pramana, and a conception of epistemic responsibility. Nyaya debate theory, known as Vada Shastra, and epistemological processes influenced much of classical Indian literary criticism, philosophical debate, and jurisprudence. Nyaya is a strong advocate for realism, thus differing from tradition and becoming one of the most influential darshans in the process. Vaisesika Sutra, written by Kanad, a pseudonym of Rishi Kashyap, written somewhere between 600 BCE to 200 CE, founded Vaisesika. The naturalist darshan attempts to identify, inventory, and classify the entities and their relationships that present themselves to human perception. The Vaisesika Sutra is a remarkable document which contains ideas on the laws of motions, relativity, quantum mechanics, and atomic theory. We are in the process of making a video on this topic, and it will blow your mind just as it does ours. Kanad is arguably the father of physics and an absolute genius. Mimamsa is Vedic deontology, which has both theist and atheist elements, with several schools focusing on realist spiritualism. Mimamsa uses the Vedas as a framework which serves as the foundation for society. The foundational text for the Mimamsa school is the Purva Mimamsa Sutra of Germany, written around 4th or 5th century BCE. The next major contribution came from Kumarila Bhatta and Prabhakara, two extreme rationalists who created the two major branches of Mimamsa around 700 CE. There is also a third lost branch, which we will cover in greater detail in our video on Mimamsa. Mimamsa is one of the most consequential darshans and was dominant in Dharmika society before the rise of Vedanta. Vedanta is one of the most popular darshans, thus it is extremely consequential in the current context. Literally meaning the end of the Vedas, it attempts to comprehend a conclusive intent from the Vedas in their entirety with the aid of other texts such as the Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, and Bhagavad Gita. Vedanta defines two realities: Brahman, which is the absolute reality, and the world, which is the relative reality. The world encompasses both the matter of the world, the non-living objects, and the souls or consciousness. Dvaita, Bheda Abheda, Vishishta Dvaita, Shuddha Advaita, and Advaita are considered to be the five major schools within Vedanta. Vedanta's popularity is such that it has come to define the label Hindu. But we must keep in mind that this is a foreign label which does not accurately portray Dharmagana. None of the important textual works ever mention the word Hindu. Dharma is the native label for the culture which emerged from the Vedic period, and Dharmika is the native label used by the people from this culture. It is also important to remember that Vedanta is just one darshan within Dharma, and not all Dharmika follow it. This is the end of part 1 of Darshanas of Dharma, where we briefly explored the Orthodox Darshanas. Part 2 will explore the Heterodox Darshanas. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you do not miss out on the second part. To learn more about Darshanas, you can join this amazing Discord server, Ashram. All sources and resources are provided in the description below, along with all True Indian socials. This is True Indian. Dhanyavada.